Welcome to Sports Connection. I'm Darrin Joines, Williamson County Schools Athletic Director. Tate Mathews, we're back.
We're back, baby.
Talking spring sports.
Spring sports in overdrive.
Overdrive. And listen, I feel like maybe based on your request, we've got some lacrosse to talk about today.
Ask and ye shall receive. Good job, guys. I'm excited. Exciting sport, man. Fun to watch.
It is.
I've always said those guys, you gotta be guys and girls. You gotta have a little bit different edge to you in that sport, man. I don't know the velocity or the miles per hour that ball's coming at you when it's like if you're a lacrosse goalie. Fear factor is not a big thing. I don't. Would you want that thing coming at you like that?
I've always thought with lacrosse too, it has some elements of baseball with the skill.
Yep.
Basketball with maybe the vision of the court or field, and then football with a little bit of toughness.
Oh, without a doubt, a little physicality.
I like it. I mean, I really do.
It's everything. Hand-eye coordination, maybe more than anything, right?
I'm thinking.
By the way, great job on the promo.
Intern Will.
Intern Will Squared did a great job on that. Footwork, you got to have good feet, or you're not going to be very good because you're
That's right.
in space most of the time. Yeah, and you got to be a little tough because there's contact, and like I said, they got the ball coming at you. So it's been a fun sport to watch grow, and it's a sport that's multi-sport friendly.
It is. It definitely is. Hey, let's do this because we've got a lot to cover today. Coaching hires. He wasn't out long.
No.
Coach Scott Stidham, hired at Nolensville after the past 3 seasons with Independence, takes over for Paul Derrick. Coach Stidham led Independence to 3 straight playoff appearances in 6A. And this, it seems like a perfect fit.
I think so too.
A perfect fit. Love Coach Stidham.
Love Coach Stidham. Really happy for him and his family. Happy for Nolensville, and happy for WILLCO. So, got a good guy that has a long 20-plus year track record of running first-class programs. And Nolensville still kind of got that community feel to it, and I feel like he's kind of one of those kind of guys. So credit to Dr. Calvert and Coach Vassar. I know he's Mr. Vassar now, but he's still Coach Vassar to me. Coach Hudson, they ran a great search, had a lot of really good candidates, and I think early on and all the way through, Coach Stidham was just kind of the guy. So he's going to bring a good staff with him. Pretty neat. We talked about it because of different things that have happened. There's openings, at Nolensville. That doesn't always happen. A lot of times you come in and you got the people you have. So he'll be able to bring some people with him. And he's excited. He's rejuvenated. Kind of spent the past 5 months. I know from talking to him and then other people, he went and watched a lot of people practice and talked to a lot of staffs, and he had some time to kind of go just watch football for a while and see how other people do things that he hasn't had in the offseason. So I know he's excited. I know Nolo's excited. Great job. Happy for all involved.
You talked about WILLCO. You don't need to lose people like Scott Stidham.
I think so.
I mean, the thing I always say about him that really stood out to me, one of the first times I was around him was at the summer coaches PD. Sat in the front, staff sat in the front, got their notebooks out, taking notes. They weren't hiding out in the back.
No, they were participating.
Well,
I said it earlier. I think Coach Jimmy Gentry used to always say that. That was his highest compliment, but first class. I think the guy's first class.
First class. Hey, another hire, Coach Michael Burgoyne. Now, I talked to Coach Burgoyne. I always call him Coach Burgoyne. He said only his mother and his wife call him Michael. He said, so, Mike's fine, but I always
Coach B.
Coach Burgoyne. He stepped down as Franklin girls soccer coach, had a great run. In fact, 2 straight semifinal appearances, 16-2-1 this past year. Replaced by assistant coach Kyle Rolke. He takes over for Coach Burgoyne next fall. And here's kind of a fun stat. It's not the gem of the week, but it's fun. Is Coach Burgoyne, when he was an assistant for the legend, Coach Burchett, Coach Rolke's wife, Sarah, I'm not sure the maiden name, but she was on the team.
Pretty cool. Little, what is it? What's that thing with Kevin
7.
Bacon? 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon. Very cool. Now, not to be Coach Burgoyne will continue as
That's right.
the boys coach, just stepping down as girl. Coach Rolke's got a great resume too.
He does.
So great hire there. I mean, great hire. I wouldn't think that one's a hard one to hire. That's one of the jobs if you're going to be in the soccer world and high school in the state of Tennessee. Franklin, boys or girls, is one of the ones you would want.
Got a couple numbers for you. 14 state championship in girls, 3 in boys.
Strong. By the
17 total.
We might get to it later. The boys, number 6 in the country right now.
Well,
maybe that was a week ago. Who knows what it is now?
So, mentioning that, I talked to Coach Burgoyne. They take care of Nolensville this week. Then they are the number 1 seed in the district tournament, which, kind of like baseball, that means they're on to the region. This could be Franklin's year.
This might be it, yeah.
This could be Franklin's year. It really could be. Obviously, Ravenwood's really good. Brentwood had a 2-2 tie with Summit. Good for Summit, man.
Yeah.
That's not something they've always done.
Summit and Indy have
Page.
both really upped their game.
Page is playing well.
Oh, yeah. But they always do. They were just in the lower. But, no, strong boys region this year. But the clear number 1, the Franklin Admirals.
Coach Cook, we're coming for you.
We're coming, baby.
We're coming.
We know
We like him, but not.
We love him. But we know where you are. We know where we're going to see you, and we're coming. But we love the Cookie Monster.
WILLCO Workout. That's this week out at Franklin High School. At the taping of this show, we had 26 teams already committed. There'll always be some people show up kind of last minute or don't register. I'm talking about the college coaches. All levels can participate.
Yeah.
And be here because we use it as one of our official practice dates. Got that approved through the NCAA and the TSWA. And breaking news, you're hearing it right here, Boston College will be here, which I think is...
Who's the first player you think of when
cool.
you think of Boston College?
Flutie?
Yeah, it got to be, right?
Yeah, throwing that against Miami.
Hail Mary.
And the quarterback for Miami during that game?
Vinny Testaverde? Bernie Kosar.
Bernie
Kosar.
Bernie was slinging it.
He was. But they got beat. You remember what number Flutie wore?
22.
What a baller move.
Yeah. But he threw it to Phelan, I think was the guy's name.
Good memory. Yeah. BC's coming. Hey, I think this is important. I've had some people, and I know you've had way more people ask, well, why didn't so-and-so come? Why didn't so-and-so come? They do have to, it counts as maybe one of their in-home visits or something. It goes against something, which for 2 reasons. One, that's why some people maybe in-state don't come.
Right.
No excuses. But also it goes to show a credit of, think about that's getting on a plane and sending somebody down here and using something on your calendar. You know what I'm saying?
They've got somebody they're interested in.
That's right.
I think there's going to be an in-home visit.
And I think the really cool thing is Harvard, Yale, anybody else?
No, Harvard, Dartmouth, Princeton.
Harvard, Dartmouth, and Princeton. They don't come down here unless they know there's kids that are going to qualify academically. And we got a bunch of those.
Wofford, I like Wofford coming. That's fun.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Cool facilities. Anybody who's getting recruited by them, I encourage you to go check it out. It's a cool place. But again, man, Harvard, right?
That's
Harvard,
cool.
Man. They're not wasting their time coming down here unless they've already found some people they're interested in and they know can get there. What I'm trying to tell you is nobody else does it because they can't. But if they do, I don't know that Harvard's coming to that. They're coming here.
This is another discussion for another program. Funding aside, they may have some funding.
Yes.
It's not for this show.
No, correct.
We go both sides of the aisle here. Sports, man.
That's for behind the scenes when we start the podcast.
All right,
it's going to be a fun day.
It's going to be fun.
Franklin's a great venue to have it. Plenty of parking. It's going to be good.
Let's talk a little baseball. So last week's series, here's what stood out to me, Tate. Every series was 2-1. No sweeps. Indy over Centennial. Page over Brentwood. Page playing well.
Playing well.
Ravenwood over Nolensville. Summit over Franklin. Look at those standings, Tate.
We got some movement.
Ravenwood, Indy, that's the two we've been kind of picking. 12 and 6. You got Brentwood, Nolensville, Page, Summit, 10 and 8. Again, that four-way tie there. Centennial and Franklin, 5 and 13, 3 and 15. It's all about what matchup has already taken place. This week we got the Battle of the Woods, Brentwood, Ravenwood, Centennial, Summit, Franklin, Nolensville, and then Indy, Page. That's a series I'm really interested in, that Indy, Page. Man, baseball is heating up.
Heating up, and hey, but you know, the past few weeks it's been Ravenwood clear number one. Indy's been creeping. They're up there at a two-way tie for first. And then, of course, we got the logjam in the middle. And Centennial and Franklin, you know, Franklin was – it took a while to get that first one. My point is now here they are with three. They're getting one in each series. They you know, like we've talked about, they've got – when they have their number one on the mound, they've shown they can pick some people off. So come tournament time, I think Franklin, depending on the matchup, Franklin and Centennial are scary come tournament time.
That's why finishing first is so important, because you finish first, you're in the region.
That's right.
Which is a smart move.
You can rest your guy.
When you're talking baseball. Tate, let's do this. Let's jump into track. Now, Volunteer Classic, Knoxville this past week. You know my favorite part of this event?
That it's on old Rocky Top?
No. No.
You get to bust your orange out?
They've got the steeplechase event, and if you've never seen that, it's like they're jumping over in water, and it's so cool. I love that.
It's very cool.
They have a sprint medley, which two runners do the 100. One does the 200, and one does the 400. And then they have a distance medley, which is a 400. Another runner does an 800, a 1200, and a 1600. That's cool.
It's real cool, and the participants will tell you they love it. It's exciting.
Something different,
and they enjoy it. It's not corny at all. I think more people ought to do it.
Hey, cue it up, Mr. Producer. Not to be confused with the javelin.
If you don't know, you don't know.
What's
that guy's name?
I did
Marvin.
Well, I did have a young man reach out. Franklin High School's team was sending me a message about trying to get the javelin. And I'm like, well, first of all, I think that's dangerous.
It's pretty much banned.
Second of all, I don't approve that.
No, that's not yours. But if it was, you're probably going to hit reject on that. The first thing you would have to do is probably go upstairs and whoever handles the insurance policy, that would have to be reworked.
Risk management.
Yeah. You know it's dangerous when you have to sign a waiver.
But it's very WILLCO that we have somebody that can do it.
Javelin, don't expect that anytime soon, nor the hammer.
No, not at all. Hey, look at this. There were 51 girls teams that participated, 53 boys teams. Brentwood on the girls' side finishes 6th. Indy 10th, Page 13th. On the boys' side, Brentwood wins it. Independence 5th, Page 24th. If you look at some individual results there, Tate, a couple people I want to mention. Jency Knight of Independence, 5th in the 100, 2nd in the long jump, also from Indy. Riley Fisher, 4th in the 200, and then Riley was also 2nd in the 400.
News flash here in the 800, Leah Banavac from Brentwood, 2nd. Lauren Banavac, Brentwood, 4th. No surprise there. Lydia Cromwell from Brentwood in the 1600. I still kind of like calling it the mile. I know it's not very professional, but
it's what it is.
Sectional, sub-state. She came in 5th, and then the 3200, the 2 mile. Sophia Boutros of Page, 2nd. Gabrielle, her sister, Page, 3rd. And then Lydia Cromwell came in 5th from Brentwood. So pretty cool. And then the steeplechase.
I'm just wondering, not to be confused with
the horse race.
Steeplechase.
I'm not here for the race.
But I thought it was kind of interesting that Brentwood, get a Brentwood winner, Clara Young.
That's a tough meet, man. Brentwood 1st in the boys and 6th in the ladies. That's really strong. That was good. And then on the boys' side, in the 800, Callahan and Payne Fielder from Brentwood, 4th and 5th. 1600, Keller Vaughn, Brentwood 4th. He's He's a Wilco regular. And Asher Oates from Independence, 5th. So then we get to the 110 hurdles. Cameron High of Brentwood was 2nd. 300 hurdles. Cameron High, Brentwood 1st. And then Caden Whitman of Independence, 5th. And then we were well represented in the field events and the relays as well.
Luke Durham, Independence, 4th. The 4x100, Indy, 2nd. Brentwood, the 4x4, 2nd. Page, 4x8, 1st. And then you're looking at the sprint medley, that distance one we were talking about, Independence 2nd. And then the distance medley, the sprint medley was Indy 2nd. Distance medley, Brentwood 1st. So cool. And
Awesome.
I did want to mention this because since our last show, we mentioned the WILLCO Championships coming up. The thing I wanted to point out was Claire Stegall.
It's her first race.
She had the 5th fastest time in the nation.
Yeah.
Like, welcome back in the 800. 2 minutes, 7.31 seconds. It's actually kind of silly.
It's the 5th fastest time in the nation, and it's not even close to her fastest time. No, it's her first race. So obviously, I mean, I know we've got some regulations we have to, but obviously she's been resting. Is that a good way of saying it?
She's been resting.
She hasn't been doing her normal training routine. She comes out and runs the 5th fastest time in the nation.
It's incredible.
In other words, that time is going to drop in the next month.
It is. Brentwood girls, Independence boys won. Asher Oates from Independence, he wins the 3,200 and the 1,600. And then a great performance there in the 32 by sophomore Nigella Smith from Page. She produced one of the top times in Tennessee this year. Tate, what else?
Real cool for
our event this week. Talk about that a second.
the Grade 8. It's Thursday. It will be held at David Lipscomb Campus School, now known as Lipscomb Academy.
I can't keep up.
That's a whole nother rant that I'm not for this show because we got a lot to talk about. But why Vanderbilt runs it? Do you know this?
I did
Or
know
you
this.
didn't? Okay. Vanderbilt runs it, but they've chosen for the last several years to not host it, which if we had time, that might be a clown show segment. So that could be coming. But anyways, it's going to be at Lipscomb Academy. We've talked about it. It's awesome. The top 8 teams, top 8 times, top 8 performances in any event, D1, D2, Class A, 3, it doesn't matter. The top 8 times, that's how you get in. The deadline to accept, I guess, your invitation is Monday night. So that's not 100% out yet. So that's why we can't give you all who's being represented. But what I can tell you is Wilco's very well represented in it.
You know what I like about it? Because sometimes when you go to one of those meets, it's like, is this the fast heat, slow heat?
One flight. I learned
one.
that flight.
Oh,
One flight in each event.
I like you bringing the proper terminology.
Right. You don't have to worry about it. You want to see the 100? One flight. You want to see the long jump? 8 people. It's cool.
It's great.
Really cool. And, you know, I'm bagging on them a little bit, but all love. Lipscomb Academy does have a good track and field complex. So parking's a little bit of an issue. Get there early.
Don't park in one of those neighborhoods over there. You might.
Unless you want to get it. Yeah. Well,
They might tell you.
that's for another show too. They've had. I know some people that live over there. They got well, I probably shouldn't say that. They got a car burglary ring going on over there, man. Lock your doors.
Which the people here don't
Or
do.
as Coach Crawford said, you know that club you can buy on that TV shopping channel, the club. Get you a club.
I always felt like when people put that on their car, it's just somebody's going to like key it or something. Just like, I'm not breaking in, but let me tell you what I am doing.
I heard him. Somebody was asking him. He was in town for the. This was a couple of years ago. But he was in town for the recruiting fair. The TNFCA put Titans and TNFCA, and they were asking him. He goes, "It's not that bad. It's not that bad. He's got to get you one of them clubs. It's a deterrent. It's a deterrent." It was great.
Hey, let's talk a little flag football. Big matchups there at Franklin High. Franklin Centennial Page. Again, how we do those, everybody plays one another. The home team plays game 1 and 3. The visitors play either game 1 and 2 or game 2 and 3. Franklin beats Centennial 26-7. Page beats Centennial 40-13. No surprises there. But then Page matches up with Franklin. And it was a scoring fest in the first half. It was 21-14 at the half. 2 passing touchdowns from Franklin, Anderson Blackburn to Ella Butler, also Ava DeSantis from Ava Webb, and then a rushing TD from DeSantis. But in the second half, Page holds Franklin scoreless. Nice adjustments there, I'm assuming there by Coach Rathbone.
Yeah.
And they score a couple touchdowns. One late, Avery Payne, a 10-yard pass from Lee. So they end up scoring to go ahead with 4 minutes left. And speaking of Samantha Lee, how about these stats? 3 touchdown passes and 1 rushing. So she was involved in every touchdown.
Yes.
And a pass to 3 different players. Maisie Bushman, Mia Kabali, Avery Payne. What a night for Samantha Lee. And I said it. I'm going to stand by it.
You think this is the year?
This year for Page.
Yeah, man. Really good. I think you were talking about those adjustments. I think that's really, in those kind of games, that's where you kind of see the benefit of having one of the men's football coaches, as your head coach or running the staff, adjustments, because that's what these guys do, right? Coach Bone's been doing this for over 20 years, and I just refuse to believe that wasn't a big part of it. Goes in, okay, we saw what they were doing, having a hard time shutting them down. I mean, 3 touchdowns in the first half, right? And I think that's a real benefit you have. Obviously, Franklin has that with Dr. Defense, Coach Webb, but he obviously saw something and made some changes. And I tell you what, man, Samantha Lee, she's kind of it right now in flag football. She has been every year, but she does that every game. Multiple passing touchdowns every game. She's usually at a rushing touchdown or 2. But even as much so, if you go back to the first game and the Centennial game, which I know you're going to talk about it, Samantha Meek, when I saw that, had a flashback from last year. She had another pick 6. I think the first 6 games last year, she had a pick 6. I mean, it's almost like 85% of the games she gets a pick 6.
Savannah's kind of the Deion Sanders.
I'm not the smartest guy. Sorry, Coach Bone. I'm not the smartest guy, but if I'm game planning, okay, I don't know what number Savannah Meek is. Let's say she's number 10.
Somebody find Savannah and go
When you get to the
opposite.
line, find number 10. Identify number 10. Okay, we're not going that side unless it's a run. And another thing too, DeSantis had that rushing touchdown for Franklin. I think it was like 64 yards. Nobody does the running game. It used to be Ravenwood, but nobody does the running game like Franklin in flag football.
Does a great job.
Great job.
Ravenwood also had they put out a post there I liked, had a signee, had a commitment. We'll get on those later, but to go play at the next level, Alabama State. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, it's growing. Cumberland University added it this year. They're recruiting a bunch of our girls.
Love it.
Mid-state girls.
Molly Forrest, I wanted to mention too, from Franklin. She had a pick 6 in their win over Centennial. Oh, out at Fairview goes 2-0. They defeat Independence and Summit. Indy gets the win over Summit 21-12. Now, the games at Nolensville had a little medical scare out there. Had to cancel the games. We'll get those rescheduled later. But I did want to give you an updated standings, Tate Mathews. So 3 teams didn't play their second week games. We'll get those made up later. But you got Fairview, Franklin, and Page, all 3-1. Nolensville, 2-0. They were one of the teams that didn't get to play. Indy 2-2, Ravenwood 1-1, Brentwood 0-2, Summit 1-3, Centennial 0-4. Here's what's interesting about these. I was talking to Dr. Defense, Coach Webb. He was saying when you look at our games, they're usually 1-score games. That's what's so scary about the tournament.
Yeah,
is it just takes one game to get beat and it's over.
Right. Well, not only that, you look at the standings. Talk about parity. Fairview's 3-1. They gave Page their loss.
And then Ravenwood beat Fairview.
And
Page beat Ravenwood.
Ravenwood beat Page.
Yeah, but
Ravenwood and Fairview haven't played yet.
No, they played.
Oh, they did?
They all played out there. Yes, they all beat each other.
Oh,
that was a 1-1-1.
So Nolensville hadn't played Ravenwood.
That's right.
That's what it is, yeah.
Coach Curran likes his squad.
He should.
He does a good job, too. He's posting on social media with the team.
The selfie.
It's good.
I think he got that from Hester, but yeah.
All right, Tate, next up, lacrosse. We're going to talk girls lacrosse. Ravenwood with a 10-9 win over Franklin. Senior Olivia Ruers, it was on senior night. She gets 4 goals, and she scored with 90 seconds left to give Ravenwood the win. They're undefeated in region play. The teams were tied 6 times during the game. Something I'd like to mention on this, too. You've got Ravenwood, Franklin, Brentwood, Indy, Summit, all in the same league. Only 2 teams can advance. So Ravenwood, they play Brentwood this week. Ravenwood beat Franklin. Franklin beat Brentwood. If Franklin beats Brentwood, it's over. Those 2 teams advance. If they don't, 3-way tie.
Wow.
And we got to get that figured out. I don't know what it takes to figure it out, but those 3 are probably the 3 best teams in the state, but only 2 can advance.
It's tough, man. But that's the way it is this year.
It's the way it is. I did want to mention junior Anna Zone had a hat trick for Franklin, 3 goals. The first of 3 straight that Franklin scored. They were down 9-6. She scores. They get 2 more, tied up at 9, and then Ruers with the big goal there to end it. Zone also 11-10 win at Brentwood early in the week. Now this was kind of cool. She finished with 4 goals that night. She was fouled. It's called a foul. With 4 seconds left, and scored on what they call a free position goal.
That's strong.
4 seconds left. She's got it. Charles Pulliam got it on video. It's kind of cool. She scores as time expires to give Franklin that 11-10 win over Brentwood. And listen, because it's new, and I want to show some love, this week's gym is a lacrosse gym. Brentwood had scored 20 goals or more. 20.
That's a lot.
In 5 straight games, and they may finish 3rd in the league. Going into that Franklin matchup, 11-10 Franklin wins, so that was obviously broken, but that just shows the dominance of our teams. Man, those 3 are really, really good.
Yep. It's going to be fun to watch how that checks out.
By the way, I was checking out the unis.
Good looking.
Adidas has some nice looking.
Yeah. They know how to do lacrosse.
They know how to do it. Again, this week, Ravenwood, Brentwood, a Ravenwood win gives the Raptors a commanding lead. Brentwood win, 3-way tie, who knows what. I never can. I don't care the sport. Never count out Brentwood.
Ever.
Ever. Tate, let's talk a little softball.
Well, Brentwood continues. They're hot.
They're hot,
right, and playing really, really well. We talked about this. They're coming. They were it. They kind of took a little dip. Now they're back. Always helps when you have a really good pitcher, which they do. And Brentwood 10-0 over Franklin. Independence 15-0 over Ravenwood. I thought that one was not necessarily the win, but the
Coach Buck's got a pretty good team.
Bucks.
He can coach.
Dang right. Page 7 and Nolensville 3, and then Summit 16 versus Page 10. So that one was a little, Summit's young.
But they're playing better.
They're playing better. Coach Stevenson, she's one of the best softball coaches in the state. But Page has kind of been it, right? And so, with Brentwood and Nolensville, Brentwood, however you want to look at it, right there all bunched together. But so Brentwood and gets the win, and then Nolensville and Page. But Brentwood gets the win. Nolensville loses to Page, and then Page turns around and loses to Summit. So that made that thing even a little bit closer. So it's going to be fun to watch.
Sanaya Hunter with a home run, also Addie Willingham. I was going to mention this about Page, and I believe that was loss number 1 in the league, that one to Summit.
Yeah.
Page, 2 seniors, 8 sophomores. So get used to it.
Get used to it.
Page is rolling right now. This week's Summit and Indy matchup, Nolensville, Brentwood. Now let's talk a little boys soccer. On the boys soccer side, we talked about this earlier. Franklin gets a win this week over Nolensville. They win the championship. Some scores from last week. Franklin 6-1 over Centennial. Independence, who's been playing great, Ravenwood gets a lone goal from Aiden Carruthers to get a win. We mentioned Brentwood and Summit tied at 2-2. Now, Tennessee Sports Writers Association, All-State Basketball and Wrestling.
Yes.
And that's one of those, when you see that voting, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
You know, there's a lot of different ones, but to me, that's kind of the one.
Yeah.
On the basketball side, you had Christian Brown from Franklin, Tylen Lewis from Independence, Ella Ryan from Brentwood. On the wrestling side, we had a ton. What they end up doing, Tate, is they do 4 per weight class. We were obviously led by our state champions, Braden Leach and Zachary Little from Summit, Brody Melzoni, Chase Mays from Nolensville, and then our highest finishing female, Evie Manji from Centennial, who was state runner-up. The WILLCO for the wrestler, I'm just telling you, the WILLCO Awards, that's going to be
3 state champions are going to go home without winning the WILLCO.
Hey guys, appreciate. You know, in some years we've had a state champion, not a finalist.
Right.
It's tough.
That is tough, but that's the rules of the event.
And it should remain.
It should remain.
It's got to be special. Let's mention.
And I really have no idea. I can't wait to see how that gets voted out, because it's not a career WILLCO. It's for the 2024-2025 wrestling season.
And coaches, I know you try to slip that in on the nomination. I delete it.
All you're doing is wasting.
Yeah, because I just highlight and hit delete.
You're burning some calories on your keystroke. It's 2024-2025.
That's right.
Thank you. The information is helpful.
I feel like
it's great for the bio. Do we need to make some rules?
We need to make some rules. Hey, let's mention some of those other young ladies and gentlemen who were all-state, Tate. I'll start. Nolensville, Nolan Barton, Jake Sintel, Cruz Pryor. Man, look at Ravenwood. This stands out to me when you look. Matthew Anderson, Ryan Dietrich, Thomas Lobliner, J.D. Longley, Alex Osborne, Maddox Eskew. We're talking about the entire state, only 4 per class. That is an impressive list there for Ravenwood. And then on the girls' side, they get Libby Robledo and Emery Wilson. So pretty darn impressive there. Coach Peck, you got to give it to him, man. Where he shows up, wrestling,
it always gets better.
Goes up a level.
Without a doubt. And then Riddick Romano of Independence was named. Jake McKinney and Peter Saravino of Summit. Jackson Ard of Brentwood. And then, did you mention Lauren Gupton of Independence?
No, I did not mention.
Yeah, Laura Gupton of Independence and Samantha O'Leary of Summit. So when you look at it, though, pretty interesting. Back to the Ravenwood thing. Ravenwood they didn't have the state champions, but they had 6. They had I'm adding that up right. They had the most on the all-state team. That's pretty. Talk about depth.
And 2 females.
Yep.
They were the only school with 2 females in WILLCO. So total of 8.
Strong.
I'm looking forward to wrestling right now for next year.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah. We just got to get over that one last hump.
We will.
It's a pretty big hump.
Well,
that's a hill. That's a mountain.
They keep going the way of.
Oh yeah. Some allegations out there. He's talking about the school east.
Yeah, not us. Tate, we did it.
Hey man, they always do. That show flew by.
It flew by. Well, we got a lot of exciting stuff to talk about. Excited about the workout. I'm going to check out a little lacrosse this week with Brentwood and Ravenwood on the girls' side. Looking forward to that.
Give a little Twitter X plug, because there'll be plenty of content from the workout tomorrow.
Plenty.
By you, right?
Plenty. Tate, I'll see you at the workout. I'll see you at the grade 8.
You can bank on it.
And then I'll see you next week.
We'll be spectating the grade 8.
Spectating. Not participating.
No.
Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time.